A game is finally still coming in 2021. It didn't get delayed. It didn't freaking get delayed. What's going on, everybody? It's Ghost Robo. Smile. A game that has been in murky waters, a game that's been in limbo, is actually coming out this year. Dying Light 2 just put out a really weird video, but underneath their kind of popcorn of pizzazz is a really great kernel, and I want to talk all about this amazing game that was probably one of the very best demos I've ever witnessed. So make sure to smash that like button and let me know in the comments down below if you're excited for Dying Light 2, if you plan to pick up the game in fall 2021. Now, this video, they kind of did like this reading mean tweets thing, reading people being like, where the heck's the game? What's going on? It's a very awkward video, but they do show a little bit of gameplay, new stuff, which we'll see in a minute here. I am so ecstatic that this game is still coming because they've had a lot of issues. It's been pretty public that they lost some big people, their lead writer, lead artist. There's been rumors and reports that things aren't going so well at Techland, that it's been a struggle, but they say that they're in good shape, and they say that they're going to be sharing more information very soon, which to me means the digital E3 or whatever form these press conferences and live streams and events take place in just a couple months. I fully expect to hear about this game and get a huge blowout in June, because if the game is coming out this fall, boy, oh boy, they need to go hard on marketing and run like a quick 5-month cycle and get the game out the door. But frankly, I love that. I love that more and more games are taking this tactic. It's rumored right now that Starfield is going to do a similar thing for Bethesda and Microsoft, get announced at E3, or I guess announced, like fully curtains, drawn back and let's see what this game is, and then come out this November. Dying Light 2 has been shown before, but only in snippets, only in vertical slices. And I'm going to be so impressed if they're able to deliver on the vision that I witnessed in person back in the old world when I saw this game with my own eyes with Techland at E3 2019. Now let's take a moment to peek at the little gameplay they give us. Okay, it still looks very much like what I saw at E3. At the heart of it, Dying Light 2 is very visceral, violent combat, a whole lot of crazy zombies like that guy, and now a much bigger world with decisions that have impact. I'm going to quickly swap us over to the actual gameplay that I saw, and let me tell you, it was freaking so impressive in person. It was just like, wow, it was really, really, really juicy and delicious, and the graphics were insane. Back then I was like, this is what next gen is going to look like. This is what next gen is going to be like. But I also said, I don't know that they can achieve it. Now, Dying Light 2 was announced a long while ago, and I'm sure their plans were shifted. I'm sure things due to the pandemic caused pushback. I'm sure their internal problems and development issues and people leaving, people getting accused of things happening. I'm sure it all shifted things around. But at the core, Dying Light 1 was a really fun game, and they kept pumping out DLC to support it as a great co-op action, parkour, kill the zombie type game. This evolved from the brainchild that was Dead Island, and then Dying Light, and now Dying Light 2 before Dead Island 2. It is a very weird history, but all you really need to know is that this is a first-person game that is like to 11 out of 10 constantly. At least that's the sense I got from the demo. Now, when I saw the game and when they talked to me about it, they were emphasizing decisions, story, and characters. Now, to me, that's what would take a game like this to a whole nother level, because they've got the combat right. They know how to be very visceral. They know how to be very physical. It's a very tactile experience as you swing these bats and lead pipes and crowbars and smash, crash, and dismember. And I'm sure with PS5 tech and Xbox Series X tech, that will just elevate and escalate and probably be even more insane and intense. But it's like, can they do something that is more than just kill a bunch of zombies? And I think this game will hopefully be able to fulfill two main purposes. Because for me and the people I know, Dying Light 1 was a cooperative hangout where you could kill zombies. And everything around that, the periphery, didn't matter so much. It was like, hey, this is fun to run and jump and slide. This is fun to smash zombies. And we got a lot of missions. I would like my games to be a little more, and so I hope this game is able to still deliver on that co-op promise, but also bring in a very rewarding single-player campaign and experience with the story, the characters, and the lore. Now, in the demo I saw, they were working on flooding this area, and it was going to have major impacts on, what you could explore later on in the game, how certain characters felt about you, and like losing out of contact with the whole faction, but then, angering this other faction, but then causing the infected to be more violent over here, and it was just going to have a lot of different implications. and they were spitting a really big game about how it's so dynamic and the way you run through the city. And whenever I see something like that, I always question, like, is this heavily scripted? Because it's a vertical slice demo, they can make sure everything goes right. So you're like, it was one of those demos where you're like running on the rooftops, and right when the character jumps, oh my gosh, the van passes right underneath and they land on top, and it's like, okay, that's clearly not dynamic, that's clearly scripted, and it's still like a fun sequence, but in the context of playing an entire game, a moment like that feels a lot more dull than when you're sitting there and this is the first glimpse you're seeing of the game, and you kind of think and believe that maybe this is every moment. Now I'm going to skip forward to some gameplay so you can actually see said zombies. And a game like this, like, it's going to be weird. Either it turns out fantastic because of the delays and it really served the development well, or given the departures, given the schisms, given the delays, it's going to feel like it was cobbled together. And we got a lot of big titles this year that are kind of in a similar limbo boat. You know, Dying Light 2 is one of them, now that we can say it's a 2021 game. And honestly, I think it elevates the 2021 lineup. Just one game elevates it because there's so few big titles committed to this year. Like, this is a big deal. And then you think about a game like Halo Infinite that saw a massive delay, did not have good early fan reception. Are they able to go back, tighten it up, tie it together, and make it sing? You know, this one's a bit of a different scenario because people were in love with the early demo, but they clearly had a lot of problems on their end. And so how did they overcome that? How did they handle work from home? How did they handle all the fans being like, put your dang game out, as the mean tweets showed? I have pretty high hopes and pretty high faith. I think Techland, you know, this could kind of be their opportunity to say, hey, we are actually a great developer, not just a good developer, because I think they get the benefit of the doubt, like, hey, the game is very interesting and very worth our time, but if this one is great, it would cement, like, hey, they're doing very impressive work. And honestly, even if it's good and fun, I'll be happy, because right now it's like, look, is Horizon Forbidden West going to come out this year? Is Starfield, as we mentioned, going to come out this year? What all is coming out this year? There still are games that we heard about last year and saw big demos for that are still in flux, like Gotham Knights. Is the new Batman cooperative action gonna hit in 2021? I mean, at one point they teased God of War. I don't think that's happening at all anymore. But what all is happening? What all is coming? And it would probably be very smart of Microsoft and Xbox, honestly, to do some sort of partnership and deal with Techland to bring this game or DLC or Game Pass or something to Xbox, because I feel like with a lot of the major games, you know, there's not a lot of opportunity for Microsoft to grab hold. But if they could somehow, and by that I mean, like, okay, they're committed to multi-platform. Like, they're not going to get Call of Duty. A lot of companies already have partnerships with Sony, and the PS5 is the superior selling console at this point. But if you could go into the fall and have Halo Infinite, Starfield, and some sort of, you know, edge on Dying Light 2, I mean, all of a sudden that takes a non-existent lineup and makes it incredibly strong. Like, that trifecta is pretty awesome for hardcore console players. And like I said, there's your little, we landed right on the truck. How did that happen? He literally ran across the entire city to land on this truck at this very exact moment. Scripted, but scripted moments are fun. And in fact, I think more games need to take advantage of big set pieces to deliver iconic moments, memorable moments. And I hope that Dying Light 2 is able to bring in more, not just moments that we create, not just ones where it's like, oh my God, there were 60 zombies and I don't know how I got out of there. Me and my friends, he fell and I thought we were done for, and I jumped down and my weapon was about to break, but we survived. Like, those moments are fun. But for me, the kind of player I am, my favorite gaming moments are the ones where the creator, the designer, the artist, the storytellers, the magicians make something beautiful on screen, and I get to be a part of it. I get to witness it, and then I get to remember it. Like the moment at the beginning of The Last of Us, right? The moments at the end of BioShock, the lighthouse at the beginning of BioShock. My favorite games, they grab hold of me, not because of what I did, but because of what they did. And I hope Dying Light 2 is a game that is able to combine what we do and what the game does. And I hope that it does hit this year. I mean, never say never, there could be delays, but they're calling 2021. They put it at the end of their video and they say they got more soon. So of course, I'll keep you posted. Hopefully a big blowout this summer at E3. That's the expectation at this point. Are you guys excited for Dying Light 2? Are you pumped? I'll fast forward a little bit just so you can see what I got to see, which was they go in here. This is the area that's kind of like starting to be a little bit flooded. It's kind of like built up on the water. But you go in and you have this big fight in this room. The characters look great. Oh, the graphics look so sexy in person. Like, they look fine on YouTube, but they looked so good in person. It was running on PC. This was before any of the 30 series cards. and it looked fantastic. This is no like 380 or whatever, but it literally looked next gen. And so if they're able to achieve amazing visual fidelity, storytelling, decision making that counts, and characters that are memorable with their trademark gameplay, I think this is going to be one really to watch out for. So you decide if you're going to flood this city or not. All the water comes in and you absolutely destroy what was built before. And I hope all the delays and the trouble does not cause Techland to destroy what was built before, but just to elevate it even higher. Give me your take in the comments down below. Let me know if you plan to pick it up. Smash that like button to show some love. And until next time, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart out there. Drink some hot chocolate, and we will see you all later.